All right, welcome back, 4050 Social Club folks. Here we are for part two of our episode on Black fatherhood.
Welcome to the 4050 Social Club. We are so excited to have you join us today as we talk about the important topics of helping you transition through the ages of 40 to 50. Black men, if you're out there, if you need a resource or reference point to share some time with myself, CJ, and Quest, as we take you on different journeys and stories and give you our perspective on how to navigate through the most important years of your life, ranging from relationship to faith to finance to entrepreneurship to corporate America. You name it, we got you. Come join us, Black men, as we talk about some of the most pressing topics you'll want to talk about as you transition between the ages of 40-50. 40-50 Social Club. Let's check out this next topic today. Let's go, y'all.
The next question is, what was the father that you feel as though you needed?
Mm. You know, that is really a tough one there, Chris. Why don't you take this one? Think about it.
Yeah, wow. God, man, that is a really difficult question to
Mhm.
answer. Partially because for so long I didn't know what I needed, and it wasn't as if when I looked around all around me, I saw other people with examples of it, like, oh, this is what I'm missing. Like there were so many of
Yeah.
us who didn't have dads that I wasn't very aware.
Uh-huh.
But I would say it's the kind of thing that I think I can answer in hindsight, especially now that I have
Mm.
become a father. It's been
That's right. Okay.
24 years now, 25 years, and what's today? The 20th. So literally a week from now, our oldest is going to be 25. So 25 years of being a dad. You probably throw in that 9, 10 months before that when Johnny was pregnant with her, because you start thinking in those ways. Um, what I would have really used or could have needed then was just that kind of fatherly support and
Mm.
the energy that comes with it. So, having followed in my dad's footsteps playing basketball for the length of time that I did and coaching for all those years, there's no doubt in my mind that had he lived and his physical presence would have been more part of that journey, I know that
Yeah.
it would have gone differently for me.
Got you.
Where I struggled from a basketball perspective was not understanding how good I actually was. Like I just didn't get it. And part of the reason I didn't get it was not having that person who knew what they were talking about, who would have propped me up in that way. Right.
Got
My
you.
mom tried. My mom tried, but I knew she didn't really understand basketball like that. So of course she's gonna love everything that I do. But my dad, I think he would have been different. And I say that as a dad who has pushed one of my
Mm.
children who has gone that athletic route. And I push her in those kind of ways. And what she wrote in the Father's Day card to me kind of hit it in those ways. Like, yeah, she was thanking me for a couple things. And one of the things she thanked me for was pushing her to be as great of an athlete as she can be.
Nice.
I love
Nice.
that I'm able to do that. And she has already gone beyond as a volleyball player what I was able to do as a basketball player. But I am
Nice.
positive that had my dad been around, he would have been able to push me in a way that would have helped that career to go differently for me. And again, it was still successful, but it wasn't as successful as it could have been in part because I know that was something that I did not have.
Mm.
I think also, and I get this from when I talk about my father-in-law and the example he was able to give to me. I think um, one of the things that I needed was that kind of masculine energy in my life. My mom tried again; she did her best to provide me with
Yeah.
something that wasn't native to her. Um, and it was in not having that. Like I was looking for something that I just didn't know how to feel. Because again, I didn't know what it was supposed to look like necessarily, but I knew it
Yeah.
was missing. And in hindsight, I just that masculine energy, having that person who could push me now. I'm stubborn as hell and have been for a long time. From what I hear, my dad was stubborn as hell. We would have come to that point where we would have been bucking. And I
Yeah.
say as a dad now that I know that my dad would have won that contest. Because I can tell you right
Mm.
now, my kids try to buck up against me, at the end of the day, I know whose will is going to win out there, right? Like I know that. So
Mm.
I think I could have used that to help tame me in some ways potentially. Um, and then
Can't
maybe
even see
lastly,
it.
it's just thinking about romance, like having somebody who could have, like Quest was talking about, having his granddad teaching him about the birds and the bees like that. I never had a man in my life try to help me with that. My mom tried. She did. And again, what I remember her saying to me at one point, she was like, whatever you do, just don't come home with any diseases or a pregnant woman before
Right.
you get
Yeah.
married. And
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was all she had to tell me. And I was responsible enough to be okay. But I know that I lacked having some tutelage in that area that could have been good for me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's what
hear
came
you.
to mind.
I hear you.
The two of
That's
y'all,
dope
Dang.
what
though.
comes up
That's
for
really
y'all?
dope. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
comes up
Yeah.
for y'all?
Jay, what about you, man?
Man, I couldn't help but think about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees conversation. And I can still see it vividly in the car with my stepdad, and he pull out a Trojan. I'm probably like maybe
Ah!
14, 15. And he like, you know how to use this? And I'm like, I think so, and hell, by the time I was 14, 15, I was late in the game. So people looking at me like, do you like girls? Like, what's up? It's
Nah,
like,
nah, not that.
man, it was like that growing up. And so I thought about that. But I couldn't help but think about, the question, what did I need, man? And man, my grandfather was my dude, man. He still is my dude. To your point, I talk to him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he gave me everything, man. He gave me everything he physically could, in terms of attention. Like I was his dude. Like I remember all the time we spent together, soccer practices, and he'd take me everywhere because he was retired. So it was like, he was able to pour into me, and my grandmother was the one that was working. So
Yeah.
he just was always there for me, man. I remember, high school graduation, and I had got all these awards for soccer, and it was a soccer ceremony, and I had got all this stuff, man. And I remember just wailing, crying like a baby at 18, just saying thank you, man, for
Yeah.
everything you sacrificed
Yeah.
to pour into me. Like I was just wailing, and he was just holding me. You know what I'm saying? I can still see that to this day. And so I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's good.
he gave me everything, man. I mean,
Yes.
everything.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
could not ask for anything more. I think the only thing I wish I would have kind of knew at that time was to understand how I was separated from my biological father, because he was ostracized. He was
Mm.
an outcast. Like I just got fragments of it, and I never really understood it. But he made sure it was so smothered and buried, like that I would never even question it.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so from a father perspective, man, I think I got like a double, triple dose when it comes
That's what's
to
up.
to to, to what I got.
That's good.
That's what's
Love
up.
that dude, man. Love that dude forever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, man. But
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
about you, Quest?
Yeah. What is you?
Yeah. When I think when I look back at things now, I needed my grandfather and my uncle combined. I think my uncle now, and let me speak to kind of like what I mean. My uncle now, uh, me and my uncle had a falling out when I was young, and my uncle, I have to say, it was my next closest father figure. Um,
Yeah, that's real.
he he was an alcoholic, and I had got a brand new car. And I was young, had got a brand new car, and at this point in time, I had just had my son. So you think I'm 16, 17 here, and I'm working full time and going to and pretty much going to school full time. And my uncle is an alcoholic at this point in time. He wants to, like he wants to joyride in my car. He wants to come take my car. So does that, whatever. I'm not gonna go through that whole conversation about what happened there, but it was a pivotal moment because after that moment, it changed his life. He went, he got himself clean and sober, and has been clean and sober ever since then.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
what didn't change was his personality, who he was, that which is infectious, which is, trust me, the reason why I love this man. Um, but also, I got a chance now to see his kindness and I got a chance to see how he is as a man, right? Like he still has that I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say and I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and this is how it is.
Mm.
You know, at the same time, he's welcoming. He welcomes everyone into his place to have a meal. I mean, he has people from his program that comes in, and we're out here having our, Juneteenth or 4th of July celebration, and he's welcoming them into his home to have a meal, because he knows they not gonna have a meal later on.
Mm.
You know, like,
Yeah.
so all of that,
Mm-hmm.
all of that now, now who he is now, you know, one of the greatest things is everybody's birthday. And I feel like this is why I feel so passionate about birthdays, is because he calls us, all of us individually, right? And he's on the phone with this kind of special birthday presentation that he's created for us all. Like, it's all the same thing now. Don't get it right. It's all the same thing, but it is a presentation that he gives, right? And what I remember the most out of all of it is him always saying, don't let anyone give you no knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone type shit. You tell him, hell no, get on. This is my birthday today. I'm going to do what I'm going to do today.
Mm.
And in those lines and how he says it, you get a chance to understand that this is who I would like to be.
Mm. Mm.
I would like to genuinely have.
Oh, let it breathe. Let it breathe, homie. Let it breathe. You need it. You
Mm-hmm.
need it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to have that for my sons.
Mm.
Mm.
You know, I want to be in that moment
Mm.
with them all the time, all the time.
Mm.
And mm, mm,
Wow. That's all
Mm-hmm.
right. That is all right.
Mm.
I don't want them to miss that. You
Mm.
know, and my oldest son, I know he don't miss it, because the man that was there when I wasn't there is still there in his life.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I know that he gets a little bit of the double of that now that I am back in his life full time. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Mm.
Mm.
My youngest just the other day on Father's Day, he said to me, he said, "You don't know how I see you."
Mm.
He said, "But everything before, don't worry about it. Just keep focused to now." Listen, that is everything, not
Wow.
just to me,
Mm.
but to that image of me looking at my grandfather, to that image of me looking at my uncle.
Mm.
Like, man,
Mm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
Yeah, man.
That's amazing.
appreciate y'all with this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
man,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You need this moment, man. It's beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah,
a lot of respect, a lot of love, a lot of appreciation
yeah,
there. You
yeah.
know?
Appreciate you, Uncle Steve. I love you. Thank you.
That's
Like,
good.
thank you. Granddad, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Kenny, hey, appreciate you. I love you, bro. You've been the greatest father that my son could ever have.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you.
Wow.
I mean
Oh.
that from the bottom of my heart.
Wow.
Thank you.
Well,
Mhm.
this is what I like
Jeez.
about what I mean, there's so many things I love about what just happened, but the other thing I think I like about it is you're getting into what you have been as a dad now for
Mm-hmm.
your kids, for your sons.
Yeah.
Jay, and this we can talk a little bit about our stories here too, because we are in fatherhood in three very different ways. Like Quest, you got
Yeah.
your son,
That's right.
I got my two daughters. A relationship, mom and I, we've been together almost 26 years. Jay, you're marrying into
Yeah.
a family where you
Yeah.
will inherit being a dad. Like here's
Hmm.
a moment to kind of talk about that piece of it too. What does being a
Yeah.
father mean to you?
Man, for me, I feel like, man, it means so much. And I feel like I'm taking everything that I've received from the fathers that have been a part of my life, and they're helping guide me through what I'm experiencing with this young, beautiful woman, and helping
Yeah.
her transition
Yeah.
from a child into womanhood. And man, I feel like I get it wrong every day. You know what I mean? I feel like I get it wrong every day, man, but I know that I have an impact that I'm making on her life. And if anything, I want to share with her that a man and a woman can come together and have a healthy love and respect and
Mhm.
honoring of each other, but still create, maintain, sustain their true identity,
Yeah.
and care for each other in ways that are genuine and true and not manipulative, and so I think those things are paramount for me, and creating a safe space for her. So I think about all these things in the midst of me trying to make sure I manage the things that I know are still hard for me,
Mhm,
to get underneath my cross sometimes where I want to just grab her. But at the same time, that grab turning into a love hug,
Mhm.
and letting her know that I'm here for her. So just learning how to navigate through those things.
Yeah.
I saw something recently that says, Black man, you create family, you create home, you instill it. Like, we carry so much of family within us as men
mhm,
that I think sometimes we undervalue, and how we set
Mhm.
the thermostat in a lot of ways that really impact how the home is carried and managed, and the energy in that home.
mhm,
And I'm realizing and recognizing that. So how do I make sure my thermostat is at the right temperature to make sure it feels warm in the house? I
Mhm.
think is what's important for me, and letting everybody know that I'm a protector, I'm a provider, I'm also a priest,
mhm,
and I'm also here full of love. So I think those are the things, man, that I believe, are important for me, especially walking into marriage and matrimony. She calls us a throuple, so it's like I'm walking into a marriage of not just one woman, but two, so it's like
Yeah.
we all gonna be at the altar together,
mhm.
and so I think that's important, man, and I'm just happy that I'm able to do it.
That's
So yeah,
awesome.
man.
That
Yeah.
is
How about
awesome.
Yeah,
yourself?
that's really good. That's a really good point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fatherhood. Man, gosh, again, there's just so many things that hearing what you had to say throws me into a whole bunch of different directions. When I think about my two girls, um, and presence is one of those things I have brought up. I brought up that word a couple times already. Like being
Mhm.
present is a thing. Um, there's
Yeah.
a part of me that is looking at the two of them and thinking, I know how through their experiences, through my wife's experience, through my sister's experience, my mom's, other women in my life, other Black women in my life, I have learned a lot about what they face that's different than what we face. And again, it's not getting into one being
Right.
more whatever than the other. It's just different. It's just different. So trying to help them to see themselves as the beautiful humans I know that they are, even when the world might be
Yeah.
sending them some different messages, like finding ways to prop them up in that way. And yes, I'm
Yeah.
dad, but still being able to get that from masculine energy in your life. I think that's very, very
Mhm.
important
Yeah.
to self-esteem. Like I really think it is. And that's been a part of it. But I would also say, in addition to giving that support, there's a very particular way that dads are able to challenge their children. And that to me is what real love is. It's not every single thing you do and say and everything you feel is right. It's not that. I can validate your feelings while also challenging the rightness of those feelings, and I'm able to do that in a way that my wife doesn't. She does it in her own way. I do it in a very different kind of way. So I see the way that she and I balance one another out. What my wife does and provides is different from what I do and provide. And so giving my girls that, I think, is really important. And then I also think, and this gets to what you were talking about, Jay, it is the importance of redefining the narrative around Black fathers. What did we hear growing up, that there are no Black dads in the home, and there are all these single
Yeah.
parent
Yeah.
mom
Yeah.
or single parent households, single mom households?
Yeah.
It wasn't that it wasn't real, because it was happening. Like I saw it, I had it in my
Yeah.
family, I saw it in my neighborhood and in other places. But that's an old and tired narrative, though, right? Like
That's
I
right.
was, since we were getting ready to do this episode, I looked into something, and I don't know if folks know this, but like nearly 53% of Black dads are in the household now, and that's the highest figure since
Come on.
1973. So what are we
Yeah.
saying?
Come on,
Wow.
yeah.
50 years
Come
ago,
Wow.
on.
50,
Wow.
Come
52
on.
years
Wow.
ago, 52 years ago, we were decently stable, fell into this whole thing for a number of different reasons, that our families, Black families, were under attack in the ways that they were. We have come
Yeah.
out of that now in a way that I don't think people recognize. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's wanting to be a part of the evolution of that conversation and righting the ship in that way. There's also a thing when you look at single dad households, there is a proliferation of that now that didn't used to
Mm,
exist. And again, I'm not trying to say
mm.
that's the ideal, it's whatever it is. But
Right.
we as dads, Black men, we are much more present in our kids' lives than I think the popular
Yeah.
narrative is.
Yeah.
And I want to be a part of redefining what that is.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's
He came
fantastic.
with the stats. Come
Yes.
Just a
on.
couple,
That's so
just a
good.
couple.
That's
That's so
that's
good.
what's
That's so
up. And
good.
in one hand, somebody could say only 53%,
Right.
and on another hand, somebody could be like clapping like, man, we
Like me.
progressing. We have so many, right? We have so many negative stats out there. So to hear something that's a positive turn, I think we have to celebrate and make sure that we're informing how we increase those numbers. So that's what's up, man.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
Yeah.
What's up with you,
Definitely.
Quest? What you thinking, man?
You know, I really feel like it's important to be genuine as a father. Um, I feel like it's important to allow for yourself to sit back and watch your kids and how they think,
Mm,
how they process information, how they comprehend situations, because
Mm,
it allows you to understand the type of mental comprehension that you should, in some ways, impose on them
mm,
or allow yourself to then drive them towards. And I know it all sounds analytical for me because I'm a Libra and that's just a lot of ways how it is, but it's a little bit more detailed than that. And it's not, right? Like
mm,
I'm talking the science of things, but that's not how I talk to my kids. It's not how
mm,
I don't talk to them in the science of how I'm talking. It's very, very methodical in a form of just let's have a casual conversation.
mm,
And as we're having a casual conversation, I'm gonna just, you know, in inherently think about everything you're saying
mm,
in real time to try to make sure that you also are thinking about what you're saying.
mm,
It's not just a rhetoric. It's not just a fallacy.
mm,
It's something that you genuinely feel or think for yourself,
mm.
because it's always good to understand present self at an earlier age. Like that is something that I
yeah.
have definitely learned, just a lot from how I think about my grandfather,
Mm,
but moreover, more because I've seen my my uncle come from something historic and come out of it, right? We can sit back and talk about it if you want, but there's a lot of people that did not make like they overdosed or they are in
Sure,
jail or
sure,
whatever like that.
sure.
They didn't they for lack of better terms did not make it, right?
Yeah.
And to see someone do that, a male who had kids, a male who had a a son and two daughters, like this, I could keep rolling. But what I'm simply saying is being able to understand that with limited effort, and what I mean by that is without really having to say a lot, he invokes a lot of conversation from his children to really, really get them to think. And that is something that I think is really fascinating about how we as fathers can learn from our kids. We too were brilliant at younger ages. You should never think that. Think that all the time. I was brilliant at this age. So guess what? They too are brilliant.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
have to be willing to listen, willing to hear them, because even if it's not a situation of articulation, it is a situation of strategy and pure innovation. Like some of these young minds are so amazing, but you're so caught up in them talking slang. You're so caught up in them how they look. You are missing it. You are missing it. Like they are teaching you at an all-time level and you're missing this,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
And if I can pivot it a little bit, you're missing it so much that it goes to an alternate form. And here they are using that conceptuality to go out and steal Louis bags and steal all this other stuff. Because when they came to you, you weren't receptive of it. But then after they figured out that they were on a path that they actually could do something, instead of thinking about, well, would my dad or would this father figure kind of do this? They said, I got to go and literally get the bag. So I'm just putting that there because for some, it's that small point of not listening that sometimes will turn our kids in a different direction. So I just appreciate being able to learn from my kid, being able to allow to sit down and just listen. I think about when I was in DC this past time and my youngest son with me. I just said, I listened to this man. I listened to him. I challenged the things that I felt like he didn't really think about. But at the same time, I listened. He sat there and told me his whole strategy about how he creates films and makes films and how it looks to him, his vision, his insight, how he conceptualizes from one angle to the other and what that really means to him. And I sat down there and like it was a master class.
Wow.
And I just
Facts.
listened to my son go at it.
Wow. That's cool. That's
You
a
know,
phenomenal.
so
Yeah.
I feel like that is what I want to grab and push down.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's
I
so
like that.
good. That's so good. That's so good. Well, we're gonna wrap this one up. This has been
Woo!
an amazing episode, an amazing time. So good,
Yeah.
so good. I think we probably gonna have to split this one in half. It was that
We
good.
might
We
have
ain't
to.
expect this one to go so long, but it's been so chock full that we probably gonna split this one in two just for you. But it was so good for us. And thank you all. And hopefully you take some time to celebrate not just the one father that's in front of you, but all the fathers that have impacted your life and that continue to impact your life, and recognize the impact you're having on someone else. And hopefully you take the positive parts and leave the bad parts where they need to be. So on that note, we love y'all. Happy
Absolutely.
Father's Day to all our fathers out there, black
Father's
men.
Day.
And
Woo!
we'll catch y'all on the next one. All
All
right.
right.
Peace.
And that's a wrap on another successful and penetrating episode of the 4050 Social Club. We're obviously so glad you joined, and we hope that you found something healthy, affirming, and powerful in today's content. Please help support this movement by liking this video and following us on Instagram and YouTube at 4050.social club. We'll see you again next week, same time, same channel, as you work with us in this growing and important community to make these the best years of your best life. Till then.